Well, Kelly, first I was thinking as I was waiting to come on is that every major financial downturn seems to be associated with a name. Lehman Brothers, 2008, Credit Anstalt, 1931, and will we remember Evergrande
Hmm.
in that same category? But for now, and obviously so much depends on what the Chinese authorities do, but while energy's down today, oil is still very much in the band of 60 to $80, and still, in fact, around 70 or over $70 a barrel. The real story still, to me, is this energy crisis in Europe, which will affect the United States as well, and is kind of creating a kind of panic and governments not knowing what to do. Oil and electricity and gas prices are 5 times higher than the average price right now.
They are. And of course, in Europe, this is a bigger issue. It's a little bit more immediate. And they're already looking, especially in the UK, at ways to keep consumers from having to pay more of that. And then maybe the state has to step in, pay the rest. There's rumors about nationalization of certain energy providers and that kind of thing. So will authorities have to turn their attention to dealing with this issue? And even in the U.S., as we were just speaking with Dan Clifton about a moment ago, is the policy to keep the economy going during the pandemic becoming a victim of its own success, where people are seeing that the end result is price spikes, some shortages, surges, inflationary problems that now have to be dealt with? And is that taking away some support for additional stimulus efforts?
Well, I think it is, and clearly a lot of it is around inflation and the amount of money that's been poured into the economy, and what's happened with energy prices, and also what's happening with supply chains, which you were just talking about, are adding to the inflationary pressures. And governments in Western Europe and the United States have been rather cavalier about energy supplies, focused on the longer term. But there is a need to focus on making sure there's enough investment in the sectors now. We have plenty of natural gas in this country, but you don't have the pipelines. You can't get the pipelines built to get the gas to consumers. So we saw last summer a sign of that when Joe Biden suddenly was asking OPEC countries to increase oil production to keep gasoline prices down. So politicians, get into a frenzy when energy prices go up, and voters get mad.
Why are we having such supply chain issues across the kind of entire economic complex? It's energy supplies, it's things, it's automobiles, it's groceries. You can't find Gatorade in the stores. Why are we having these problems?
All these people you talk to, merchants who never thought about supply chains, are now talking about supply chains. A lot of it goes back to the impact of COVID shutting things down, and then the way the nature of our economy has changed in terms of how people buy things. And suddenly companies that did not really pay much attention to really understanding their supply chains have to do that, like the automobile makers kind of depended upon their suppliers to handle the computer chips. Now they need to know what's going to be in the computer chip. So this is a pervasive problem, and as I think your previous speaker said, it's going to last into 2022, and energy is part of it.